Today on People Now, remembering Hollywood legend Kirk Douglas.
We'll show you how Nike honored Kobe Bryant at New York Fashion Week.
We've been apart for so long.
Real Housewives star Giudice opens up about when she really knew her marriage with husband Joe was over.
It really is a show that leaves you feeling really inspired.
Lucy Hale giving us a sneak peek at her new Riverdale spinoff, Katie Keene.
Even if you didn't know her, you knew her because she just was that big.
The cast of the new show Indebted opening up about how working with Fran Drescher left a lasting impression.
It's all coming up today, live on People Now.
Hey, happy Thursday, everyone. Welcome to People Now. Great to see you. We've got a lot to get to today. We're also gearing up for Valentine's Day.
Ooh.
It's almost a week away.
Yes, here to help us get ready for the romantic occasion and make some sweet treats, including some hot chocolate, is the Baking Beans chef, Clarice Lamb.
There she is.
Miss it. Having a great time in the kitchen there. We're looking forward to all that chocolate in a little bit.
All right, we'll get to that. But first, here's what you need to know and what's trending for today. Hollywood icon Kirk Douglas died on Wednesday at the age of 103. He's survived by his wife of 65 years, Anne, and his sons Michael, Joel, and Peter. Kirk cemented his place in Hollywood history with more than 92 acting credits. He received his first Academy Award nomination in 1950 for Champion. He was nominated again in 1953 for the Hollywood expose The Bad and the Beautiful, and once more in 1957 for his performance as Vincent van Gogh in the biopic Lust for Life. In 1996, he was awarded an honorary Oscar for 50 years as a creative and moral force in the motion picture community. However, one of his most memorable roles was in the 1960 film Spartacus.
I'm Spartacus!
I'm Spartacus!
I'm Spartacus!
I'm Spartacus!
I'm Spartacus!
I'm Spartacus! I'm Spartacus! I'm Spartacus!
Such an iconic scene there, but it wasn't just his acting that made his role memorable, or that one for Douglas. He was proud of causing waves in Hollywood when he hired blacklisted screenwriter Dalton Trumbo to write it. He opened up to People about the purge of alleged communist sympathizers in the entertainment industry during the 40s and 50s. He said, quote, "It was such a terrible, shameful time. Dalton was in prison because he refused to answer questions, so I decided, the hell with it, I'm going to put his name on it. I think that's the thing I'm most proud of because it broke the blacklist."
And Douglas's son, actor Michael Douglas, said of his father in a statement to People, in part, "To the world, he was a legend, an actor from the golden age of movies who lived well into his golden years. But to me and my brothers Joel and Peter, he was simply Dad." Michael also shared a tribute to his father on Instagram, where he said he was proud to be a son. Michael's wife, Catherine Zeta-Jones, paid tribute with a sweet black and white photo of her giving her father-in-law a kiss on the cheek, and she captioned the post, "To my darling Kirk, I shall love you for the rest of my life. I miss you already, sleep tight." Michael shared a very special relationship with his father. He followed in his footsteps as an actor. In November of 2018, Douglas attended Michael's induction into the Hollywood Walk of Fame. In his speech, he honored his father while he teared up, saying, "It means so much to me, Dad, that you're here today. Thank you for your advice, inspiration, and I'll say it simply and with all my heart, I'm so proud to be your son." Douglas actually once admitted to People that he didn't want Michael to follow in his footsteps and become an actor, but he eventually changed his mind. He told us, quote, "I wanted him to be a lawyer or a doctor like many fathers, but he's a good actor. He's my favorite actor."
Kirk Douglas had such an epic life. He did reveal in his memoir, Climbing the Mountain, My Search for Meaning, that there was one event in particular that had forever changed him. He wrote about the mid-air helicopter collision that he survived on February 13th, 1991. Douglas shared that the incident made the date the most important day of his life. In the book, he recounts how his helicopter collided into a small plane, killing 2 other men. According to the Los Angeles Times back then, Douglas's helicopter fell 20 to 40 feet from the sky and slammed into the tarmac. He had revealed that from that day forward, he always asked himself why they had died and why he was alive. And he also admitted he barely remembered anything from that collision. One of the few things he did remember was learning the names of the 2 victims from his hospital bed. And then just 3 weeks after the crash, Douglas received the American Film Institute's Life Achievement Award. At that time, he told the crowd that he did not see his life flash before his eyes when he crashed. Quote, "But thank God I got a second chance to see it tonight." We are thinking of the Douglas family at this time, and of course, we send our deepest condolences as well.
Yeah, that's a very powerful story, especially with the recent news of Kobe Bryant. Gives that story an entirely new perspective.
Definitely does.
And speaking of Kobe Bryant, Vanessa Bryant continues to pay tribute to her late husband and daughter on social media. On Wednesday, Vanessa shared photos and videos from Gianna's jersey retirement ceremony at Harbor Day School in Newport Beach. This photo was taken in the school's gym. A bouquet of heart-shaped balloons can be seen placed alongside a table with a red and pink floral arrangement that reads Gianna. The display also included a red arrangement of the number 2, which was Gianna's basketball jersey number. Vanessa captioned the photo, quote, "My Gianna, God, I miss you. I've been so lucky to have woken up to see your gorgeous face and amazing smile for 13 years. Wish it would have been until my last breath. Mommy loves you to the moon and back, infinity plus one." Hours before her tribute to Gianna, Vanessa honored her husband on social media with the hashtag #MyBestFriend. A source tells people that since Gianna and Kobe Bryant's tragic deaths, Vanessa is doing her best to process the tragic news. The source says, quote, "The shock hasn't entirely worn off. She's very tired. She hasn't been sleeping. She's worried about her girls, worried about what happens next."
Really tough to hear. Nike paid tribute to Kobe Bryant during their New York Fashion Week show on Wednesday. As you can see here, in an emotional moment, 6 children walked out onto the runway and stood in silence while wearing Bryant's number 8 and 24 Lakers jerseys. The kids then returned later on in the show for a dance segment with models and athletes. They also posed in the middle of the stage area holding hands. The 2020 Nike Forum experience at the Shed in New York featured Nike apparel and uniforms, including pieces designed for the 2020 Olympics in Tokyo. In 2003, Kobe Bryant signed a $40 million deal with Nike, and after his death, the brand released a statement saying in part, quote, "Kobe was one of the greatest athletes of his generation and has had an immeasurable impact on the world of sports and the community of basketball." Nike ended their statement writing, "Mamba forever." A number of celebrities were spotted in the audience, including recording artists Rosalia, Drake, and even rapper Travis Scott. All right, stay with us. Dolores Catania and Teresa Giudice are giving insight into all the drama on last night's episode of Real Housewives of New Jersey. Teresa revealing what her and her husband Joe's relationship is like now that they have separated. Plus, we are mixing up some epic hot chocolate. If you're in New York City right now, it's much needed on this rainy day. Stick around for that.
All right, Billy Porter is clapping back at criticism over his guest appearance on the iconic children's series Sesame Street. So during his visit to the Sesame Street set, Porter wore his epic tuxedo gown that he got a lot of praise for at the 2019 Oscars.
A petition was launched online calling for the Sesame Street episode to be pulled as it claimed the long-running children's series was, quote, using drag queens to sexualize children. The petition even has the backing of a U.S. state senator from Arkansas.
Yeah, but Porter has no time for the haters. He told Page 6, quote, "If you don't like it, don't watch it." And he added, "What about me singing with a penguin has anything to do with what I'm doing in my bedroom? You will be fine. That is none of your business."
Porter also said that he thinks it's odd that people would even make a connection from his dress to perverted demon sex, as he put it, saying the really interesting thing for me is that that's what it's all about when it comes to LGBTQ people. The first thing everyone wants to talk about is how we're having sex.
Yeah, I think it's kind of ridiculous that they're making that connection. He's just wearing this wonderful gown.
Seems like his point is to sort of desexualize the way people interpret the LGBTQ
Yeah, and look,
community.
he's a style icon. I love that he's bringing his style to Sesame Street. I'm glad that he clapped back at that. All right, now watch this.
Hello, girls. Ain't we pretty? See us on the walls.
This dress was made for you.
Any luck with the Versace? Like a fit?
I feel like I'm ready to be Lacey's newest personal shopper.
Prove that you're the creme de la creme of my girls. The personal shopper position is yours.
Oh my God.
Josie? Katie Keene.
Home sweet home. Hooray, this is our new roommate, Josie.
Welcome to the center of the universe.
Katie Keene is premiering tonight on the CW and is sure to have you reaching for your dreams. And while it may be a spin-off of the very popular Riverdale series, Lucy Hale explained to us what sets it apart.
Honestly, it's kind of its own standalone show because Riverdale is obviously very dark and mysterious and moody and people are dying and there's lots of drama. And Katie Keene is kind of like this fairy tale, and it's very, it's a show about dreamers, and it's about these friends who live in New York City and who are just, you know, figuring out who they are and trying to make their dreams come true. And I play an aspiring fashion designer who works at a place called Lacey's, which is very like Bergdorf's and
cool.
Saks on Fifth Avenue. And but it really is a show that leaves you feeling really inspired. So tonally, Riverdale and Katie Keene are very different.
Totally different, yeah.
But the tie-in is Josie, who lived in Riverdale, moves to New York City. So I guess that's why they're calling it a spinoff.
Lucy starred in a crossover episode of Riverdale that aired Wednesday night. It showcased Veronica's character visiting a teenage Katie Keene. Now in real life, Lucy is 30 years old, and her character in the new series will be in her 20s. Lucy really thought that she had put her teenage acting years behind her.
I don't even know how to pretend to do
Really?
that anymore. No, I mean, I think the thing about Katie in general is she's just so excited to be alive. Like, she's very optimistic, and I think she's young at heart in a way, so I think that kind of helps me. But I don't know. I don't know how to be a teenager. What are the teenagers have it more together than I ever did.
Really?
Do you think teens now do? Like, compared to when you were a teenager, you mean?
I feel like there's just a lot more going on for them.
It's busy.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
Social
apps.
media is
There's a lot
through
of
the
apps.
roof.
Yeah. But I feel like you have it together.
Now I do.
Yeah.
Now I think I do.
What
Half of the time. Questionable.
The adult stuff is always difficult.
What would you say if you went back to 16-year-old you?
Oh, God.
What would the biggest piece of advice be? Let's get deep.
Me at
Lucy. Let's get
16,
real.
what was I doing at 16? I had moved to LA. Oh my God.
Wait, had you just moved to LA?
I had moved to LA when I was 15.
Okay.
And I think by 16 I had maybe like booked my first job, but I don't know. I think I never like lived in the moment, so I wish I could like tell younger Lucy to just like enjoy it all. You'll never get that time back. As I've gotten older, I've like learned to be more present, I guess. And also like don't pluck your eyebrows so much.
What are the pivotal changes she would have made?
I mean, that was the style back then.
Like arched and thin.
Very thin.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to this. Meghan Trainor's brothers are more than just her family. They are her roommates, too. In this week's issue of People, the singer reveals that her brothers live in her LA home with her and her husband, Daryl Sabara, who she tied the knot with back in December of 2018.
But living with her siblings doesn't get in the way of alone time with her hubby or their happy newlywed life. Trainor reveals that she and Daryl actually have soundproof doors.
It's the key to happy life with the crowd at home. She adds that her brothers have their own side of the house and that she calls it their man cave, so she barely even sees them. She admits that she'd, quote, be very sad if they moved out. She added, everywhere I go, my family comes with me. She means it too. Her brothers and her parents even joined the couple on their honeymoon in Bora Bora. She even works with them as well. Her brothers are credited as co-writers and backup vocalists on her new album, Treat Myself.
Family affair. Now, family is very important to Trainor. Back in January, she told people that she's anxious to start a family when the time is right. She says, I'm hounding everyone like, when can I get pregnant? I think after the tour, I'm just gonna get it going. I definitely want a village. Get it going. All right, the 7th season of NBC's hit comedy Brooklyn Nine-Nine premieres tonight. We sat down with one of the show's stars, Terry Crews, and he shared what fans can expect this season.
Last season, Captain Holt is no longer a captain. He is an officer, and the drama that goes on with that. I'm sorry, it's hard to think about even now. The great Andre Brower reduced to just a desk officer in our precinct, and it's just the weirdest thing. It's just too weird. Wait till you see this. I don't think anybody's ready to even witness this.
Yeah, so did that trickle into real life too?
Yeah, it did. You know what was funny is we were waiting backstage, and we were not backstage, but just in between scenes. And basically, I, as a lieutenant now, I have, Captain Holt's old office, and so I'm there sitting down, I'm relaxing, and Andre Brower walks in, and I'm like, hey, hey, and I'm like, is there something you need? He's like, well, I usually sit there. And I was like, yeah, but not your job anymore. Oh, it got weird. And you know what? I was like, and me and Andre had this like look off, like, are you gonna leave or are you gonna get up? And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. You know what, Mr. Brower, I'm so sorry. And I gave in. It was a game of chicken and Mack truck kind of going on right now. And I was like, oh, but that was drama.
How great is he?
Such a delight.
Yeah. Even before the 7th season premieres, Brooklyn Nine-Nine has already been renewed for season 8, something that may have seemed unlikely a couple years ago when it was canceled by Fox after season 5, then picked up the very next day by NBC after an outpouring of support from fans and celebrities. So we spoke to Terry about celebrity fans of the show and if any have ever surprised them.
Well, I'm a Star Wars nut, and Mark Hamill actually snuck into the panel. He was wearing at Comic-Con, he was wearing a disguise and came into our panel, and I was like, the Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker, so many, Lin-Manuel Miranda. I mean, they're called themselves defenders of the 9-9, and they're super celebrities who are able to just, tweeted and really just made it their job to put Brooklyn Nine-Nine on the air. And I'm just so thankful.
Did you say anything to Mark Hamill?
I did.
Yeah?
Oh, I love this man. They basically were like, okay, security. Mark was like, okay, you can get off me now. I was like, I love you, Mark. I love you. It was kind of sick. I really went to fanboying all the way.
Chelsea Peretti left the show as a series regular. Will we see her come back at all? Do you know?
She, as far as I understand, we're still, you know, I think she's always in the family.
Yeah.
And she came back a couple times last season, which was awesome. And I can't wait. I didn't see her this season, but again, we're season 8. There's always something. You know, we got to understand one thing about Brooklyn Nine-Nine. We're a family. We are a family, and it's almost like one of our family members went off to college.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's no beef, it's all good, and you know, these are my brothers and my sisters in every way, and again, Chelsea is one of the most talented women on television, no doubt.
What was your favorite thing about working with her?
Oh my God, everything. She makes up these funny comments and these things, just like, hey Jerry, how you doing? Just the way she calls my name, just Jerry, Jerry, and then you just everything she does makes me laugh. I can't help it.
Everyone make sure to check out Terry tonight on the season 7 premiere of Brooklyn Nine-Nine at 8 p.m. Eastern on Fox.
Moving on to this, the latest episode of The Real Housewives of New Jersey aired Wednesday night. We sat down with 2 of the show's stars, Dolores Catania and Teresa Giudice, to get insight on a very dramatic scene, as well as get an update on where things stand with Teresa and her husband Joe, who is in Italy awaiting his deportation appeal. People exclusively confirmed in December 2019 that Joe and Teresa are separating after 20 years of marriage. Watch this. A lot of fans want to know, it was announced in December, obviously, after you went to visit Joe in Italy, the separation was happening. In this week's episode, you chatted with your brother. You told him, I want to get this quote right, in the ICE detention center, that your husband told you, quote,
He said to me, yeah, I feel, I just want you to know, I feel nothing for you.
He said that?
He told me, he's like, go find somebody else. And he's like, I won't even be mad.
Obviously, that's tough to hear. From a fan's perspective, I guess then the question becomes, did you actually know before that trip to Italy that this is over?
Yes, I've known for like a long time. Just because we've been apart for so long. Like we've been apart for a really long time. And I've had like, after my mom passed away, like a lot of resentment, a lot of things that just happened after I lost my mom. And, but listen, I'll always have a special place for him in my heart. And I think where he was really angry just because of the situation and everything. And I think he just took out a lot, out on me. And, but like, I know he texts me all the time. He's like, I love you, I adore you. You're the, best, wife, best mother.
This is
so I think, yeah, he always,
Was it too little too late?
Yeah, I mean, but we're separated from the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah.
And, and from the federal government. So we really, how do you be with, how can I be with someone like that? He lives in Italy and I live here. So we want the best for each other. I want him to be happy. He wants me to be happy. And that's it. We're going to be the best parents we could to our 4 daughters.
Was it that moment in that conversation that I just mentioned there in the ICE, from referencing the ICE detention center, was it that moment that you knew it was over?
No.
When he said, go find someone else?
No, there was a lot of moments.
Well, it's like that. Right. It was a culmination of many things.
Yeah, it was definitely hurtful to hear. Like even when I was with Gia, prom shopping, like that was inappropriate. A lot of moments, and like it's just been like a build up. But I do wish him well, and I just want him to be happy. Like I even said to him,
it's easier for him to say be happy and go on.
Yeah, and like I even told the girls, like when he's with someone, I even told him this. I'm like, when you're with someone, I'll even come and hang out with you, with her, with our daughters, because I would, I want to make it good.
Plus, you want to see how somebody is around your daughters.
Correct.
Right. Yeah.
That's another.
She better be good.
I've been down that road.
Yeah, I know, because you are really
You're
good at
right.
that.
I mean,
And you want to see the interaction. You want to make sure.
But also, I want to make it good for my daughters, because if I'm good with it, then they'll be good with it, and like that.
Well, speaking of potential future partners, I mean, a lot of fans, even Andy Cohen, really want to see you in a happy relationship. With everything you've been through, what is the thing you're really looking for in a future partnership?
She'll answer.
I've been coaching her through this. I said, Teresa, you need someone who speaks very softly to you nicely. Like, everything's been so hard our whole lives. Like, our dads were strict and the husbands like talk rough, and it's just like a rough thing, right? And I'm like, but there's someone out there that comes along and says, "How was your day, sweetheart?" She's never heard that. Have you ever?
Yeah, I don't think so.
I can promise you she has.
I don't know.
So
maybe
you need a gentleman, like Jewish men are like that.
Just
kind
like
of.
really.
I like Jewish men.
You need a little sweetheart.
Like a sweetie, like it's okay, come here and hug her. She will melt on the floor. I've had that a couple times. She will
to tell me I'm beautiful. Like, Joe used to never tell me I was beautiful.
Really?
Yeah, I guess it just, like I would say, I would get all dressed up like, how do I look? And he'll be like, you look good, Tree. You look good. Like,
Oh, no, wait.
She has so much to look forward to that I am
don't
Dolores,
get me
you
wrong.
gotta find like a sweetheart for her.
I mean, listen, of course we were together for a long time. He was a great husband. And
he was crazy for her.
I mean,
in his own way.
I obviously loved his way then, but then it just got,
when you get older,
afterwards you see what you really
grow
want,
out of
and it's, I don't know.
And I know what I want for her, and I know what will make, like, I want to see her just have that, like, that gentle, kind man. But he's got to be tough, too, because she likes that, like, buff guy.
They were so fun.
They really were.
Yeah, they were such a blast. We'll have even more from our interview with Dolores and Teresa next week. And to keep up with everything going on with them, make sure to watch The Real Housewives of New Jersey Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern on Bravo.
All right, well, it has been nearly 9 months since Larry King suffered a near-fatal stroke, but these days, the legendary TV host is feeling better and is grateful to be alive. He tells People in this week's issue, quote, "It's been a rough year, and I don't have any idea of what 2020 is going to be like, but I can still work and I can watch my kids grow up. I feel positive and hopeful."
King says he has little memory of the stroke and its immediate aftermath, recalling, "I woke up in intensive care and I had tubes in me. They told my family I was going to die." He revealed that his son Chance was rooting for him and kept him going.
Recovery has been slow but steady, and he admits that he gets mad when he has to be helped, but he relies on his sense of humor. He says, quote, "I think you live longer if you laugh a lot." Surviving such a health scare also brought King to terms with his own mortality. He says, "I have less of a fear of dying now. I'm 86, and it is what it is. I just want to keep working until the end. I'd like to die at work. I'll retire right there."
The King isn't showing any signs of slowing down. He tells People, "I'm very proud of what I do, and I'm a good father. Nothing beats parenthood. There's an element of pinching myself every day. Look at what I've come through. All in all, if you look at it, I've had a blessed life."
I can't believe all this time you've had no money.
Yeah, you should have just told us the truth.
Remember how you lied to us about being gay for so long?
You mean when I was in the closet?
Yes. Now, why didn't you just tell us?
Because I was uncomfortable and scared and confused.
Exactly, like us. And so now, we're coming out as broke.
We're here, we're broke, get used to it.
Love it. NBC's new sitcom, Indebted, shows what happens when your parents go broke and move in with their kids. The show has a very hilarious cast: Adam Pally, Jesse Hodges, Abby Elliott, Steven Weber, and the great Fran Drescher. When Adam, Jesse, and Abby stop by People Now, they shared what it's like working with the iconic comedian.
Even if you didn't know her, you knew her because she just was that big and is that big, and working with her is a blast and a great learning experience, and I can't say enough good things.
Yeah, she's so talented. She just has like this comedic timing that's just ingrained in her, and she just knows exactly what to hit when, and like we're just learning so much.
Yeah, Abby and I just watch her in awe.
Yeah. Okay, you're all very good at impressions. Who does the best Fran Drescher impression?
Ooh.
Jesse.
I would have said Jesse, but you broke one out the other day, like casually. That
I did?
Yeah, you did.
Can we just get a
in,
little
like, casual conversation? I was like, wow, Abby can do anything. It's close. That's close.
She just like has like kind of she wants everyone to have a great time and be comfortable.
Yeah.
That's amazing. It's a great impression. Now, a lot of people go through financial struggles, and actors are notorious for having a number of odd jobs before making it. So what were Jesse and Abby's?
I was actually Steven Weber's kid's nanny. Like, when I first moved to LA,
So it like came full circle that now he's my father-in-law.
Oh, that's a really cool full circle here.
It is.
Yeah.
It really is.
The nanny.
What were his kids like?
Lovely, adorable, and they had like half a British accent because his ex-wife is British, and they are just so beautiful now, and they're in college, which makes me feel really good.
Were you a big fan of his at that time? Were you a fan of Wings or anything?
Yes, loved Wings, and my dad did a show with him on NBC, and that's how they met, and that's how I kind of came into the scene.
For a short time, I would like dress up as Disney princesses for little girls' birthday parties.
Oh.
Or little boys' birthday parties.
What was the go-to? What was the
Yeah.
go-to Disney princess for you?
Well, they weren't like actual, I don't know if there was a copyright issue, but I would say I was like Cinderella-esque.
You were off-brand princess? Like Walmart princess?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So the show premieres tonight, so we wanted the elevator pitch. Why should people tune in to Indebted?
I think it appeals to everybody. I mean, I think that everybody knows what it feels like to all of a sudden have to take care of the people that have been taking care of you. And so that is ripe with comedy.
Well, can you believe this? Valentine's week starts tomorrow.
We're doing a whole week now.
I know, this is getting worse. Or better for you. You might be wondering, what is Valentine's week? Well, every day leading up to V-Day has a special love-centric theme. Who decides this? I don't know. Friday, Rose Day. Saturday is Propose Day.
Get your rings ready.
Elevated quick. And then Sunday, Chocolate Day.
Well, you had me at chocolate, so we decided to call an expert to teach us some tricks so you can surprise your special someone with a steamy cup of hot chocolate on the big day. We are joined now by the Baking Beans chef, Clarice Lamb. Thank you so much for coming and bringing all of this.
Hi.
I'm very excited. Let's start. What do we do?
Okay. Well, I've got in here just 2 cups of milk, 1 cup of water,
Okay.
and it's already kind of ready to go.
Are we boiling it?
Just to a scald. You
Okay.
don't want to like boil the milk.
Okay, got it.
So I'm gonna then add to that. I've got some sugar.
That was some sugar. I can tell when I love this already.
It's only a 1/4 cup. It's about ends up being about a teaspoon per 8-ounce cup.
What is
so
that?
it's not terrible. This is cocoa powder.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it's Dutch processed cocoa powder.
And we've been told that this would be unlike any cup of hot chocolate or cocoa that we've ever had.
Yes, it will.
And what sets it apart so much?
Well, because I've got real chocolate.
Oh my gosh.
So this is going to be like a sort of thick and rich kind of like European style hot chocolate.
Well,
So-
those are yummy. This is dark chocolate, right?
Yes, that's a 60% French chocolate.
Okay.
Yeah, what
And-
are some of the things that we should be mindful of when making this?
Be mindful of cocoa powder has a tendency to explode in your face.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Just as you
it's
pour
like,
it in?
It's just like, psh. So when you put it in, kind of be careful about it. And you don't want to boil your milk. So just bring it to a scald and then put those ingredients in there. And then once you have it whisked, all combined, you can then add your chocolate.
Okay.
Okay, so.
And that's going to melt pretty quick, obviously.
And that's gonna melt. I like to let it sit there for a minute or so before I stir it because otherwise it's kind of like stirring around a bunch of coins. You
And
know
I
what
would
mean?
imagine the whole thing could, so you got to wait and let it kind of.
Yeah, just
settle
so
in.
that it softens and it becomes much easier to stir.
So you're using this French dark chocolate, but I
Yes.
would imagine if you changed that kind of chocolate, it would alter the whole flavor, maybe experiment with it a
Yes,
bit.
but you can definitely use a different chocolate. You could use milk chocolate, you could use white chocolate.
Oh.
But if
Ooh,
you
white
use
chocolate.
milk or white chocolate, I would suggest using less milk because those chocolates already have
Right.
a percentage of milk in the actual chocolate.
And then we wait a minute.
Yeah. So now I'm going to stir this together because the chocolate has softened already. And as you can see, it doesn't sound like coins hitting the side of the pot.
Why is it so important to wait? I know Jeremy likes to get going right away.
I'm not patient in the kitchen.
It just kind of makes your
Or
life a little bit like easier, So now that guy is all done.
Ooh, okay.
And we can pour these in here, but
I love your little cups here.
they're like
Little
little
mugs.
campfire mugs,
Yeah.
right? Aren't they so
Baking
cute?
bean.
Yeah.
That's cute.
I have this slab of marshmallow here. That,
Yeah, so let's talk about this. You make your own marshmallow.
Yes, I make my own marshmallow and I make it in different flavors, but you can obviously, certainly go to the store and buy your own.
Okay. So what are we gonna do?
We have some, very festive, like little, hearts and unicorns and things like that. like a teddy bear. I don't
It's
really
adorable.
know. Yeah, that one is
that's
kind
a
of
heart.
gigantic.
That's a
It's a little
Double heart.
bear.
A double
Ooh, I
heart.
like the
Too
unicorn.
much.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna do the. Can I do that heart?
Yeah, you can
Okay.
do this one.
Oh, this is so fun. I feel like your kids would like this, Jeremy.
Thank you. You're right. They
That's
would.
a great idea.
So you could go ahead.
Fun for the whole fam.
That's exactly right.
Okay, so just pressing it
Yeah, go
down.
ahead
I've
and
done the
slam
cookie
it
sheet
down.
before. Pretty sure it's similar.
While you guys are doing that, I'm gonna go
It's like
ahead
Play-Doh too, also for the kids.
and just prepare, like pour these mugs, fill these mugs up.
Look at this.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Did not
Ooh.
wash my hands before, so.
Oh my God, so nobody
that's
drink
Everybody
this.
else, yeah. And we could go nuts here. I'm gonna do 2 of them. Get ready.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
your unicorn
Wow,
came
this is
out.
making
This
a
is
little bit of a
adorable.
mess.
That is actually really cute.
Oh look, here's one for you.
Okay, great. And
can,
you, you just put
You
the.
could just put it in there, and it'll.
Oh, I
you know.
love it.
Clarice, I know we don't have the full recipe, but how long does it take to make the marshmallow?
Oh, the marshmallow takes a while.
That seems like a process.
How many?
It's a process. And then it kind of has to sit overnight.
I'm
you
gonna,
know, so.
I'm gonna stick with the
And
old
then how
bag.
many
Yeah.
does this recipe serve? The one that we
This
just
serves 4.
Okay.
4 8-ounce mugs. You got this. And then you can also, you know, if you wanted to, like you could cut a little like cubes or whatever.
All right,
and
to make
kind of
it-
set it on fire.
Cheers.
Oh wait, set it on fire. Yeah, cheers here to that. But I want to see you do. I want to wait.
so
Cheers, but I want to see you set it on fire.
Okay.
You didn't bring this thing for nothing, everybody. Get ready. Should we stand back?
It is a big fire.
Oh,
So
okay.
let me just kind of like, then you can have a little like, you know, toasted s'mores.
Hold on, get in here, guys. Where are we? Let's move this out of the way. Okay, again, I'm.
Oh, having an issue over
Okay.
here.
No, well, maybe it wasn't meant to be. There it is.
There you go.
Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think a little more. I think a little more. Now that we got the full shot.
Do my unicorn.
There we go.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I should probably.
Oh, a
yeah.
unicorn?
Put it down because I don't want to burn your fingers.
Okay. All right. And then how about mine?
Okay, and then yours too, because why not?
Yeah.
I
okay.
love that. Such a cool touch.
Right? It's cute, right?
By the way, there's an adult version. What do you have here?
This is if you want to make a fancy pants hot chocolate.
Which we do.
Fancy pants it up.
Yeah,
So
fancy
what
pants
is
it up. This is amaretto. I personally just really like the flavor of amaretto, so you
Okay.
can pour some in there, and then this
Now
will
we really
definitely
cheer.
give you a
Alright.
little chill factors
Cheers.
for your.
Happy Valentine's.
Cheers, happy Valentine's.
Week.
You know what? This is delicious.
Thank you so
And you know what?
much.
I was worried that it was going to be too sweet for me.
No, it's
No.
perfect.
I like things that are very well
Right at it.
balanced.
Oh my
Thank
gosh.
you so much.
Oh,
This
thank
is
you.
wonderful. And everyone, for more about Clarice's Bakery, head to bakingbean.com.
And where they also have cute little mugs.
That's
Do they have those on the site?
yes.
We can get these at home?
You can get these, and you can also buy our hot chocolate mix.
Boom, already
Love
done. Coming up tomorrow and next week, Jake Borelli and Nico Taro join us to talk all about Freeform's first ever queer rom-com. It's called The Thing About Harry.
Plus, the Birds of Prey cast shares their craziest behind-the-scenes moments. Thank you so much for watching. For now, we leave you with one last thing from one of the stars of Dolly Parton's Heartstrings. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Hi, I'm Willa Fitzgerald, and this is One Last Thing. The last time I was starstruck was when I met Dolly Parton on the set of Heartstrings, and she took me onto her camper van and showed me what the inside of her camper van looks like. It was pretty much a great day. The last show I binge watched was Fleabag, and I think I watched it in about 48 hours.
Here's to love.
The last song I had stuck in my head was, in fact, maybe embarrassingly, Lover by Taylor Swift.
Lover.